Hey, welcome to the channel. My name is Mia, and I help single moms turn their gifts into power, purpose, and profit. The common language of millionaires. All right. Little quick backstory. For a good part of February, I found myself listening to a lot of millionaires. I even joined a challenge that was led by a multimillionaire and just started to engage in that type of community. And I think that's important because we get very comfortable in where we are and we have aspirations of getting to higher levels, but we have to actually energetically, sometimes physically move into those levels. So in my listening of all of these people, and these are both men and women, there was always a common denominator. I mean, in the way that they spoke, what they brought up out of nowhere and in interviews and just their teaching. And the common denominator was always God. It was always God. It was the knowledge of scriptures. It was the knowledge of principles, of laws, of stories, and so in my own journey, there was a big emphasis of you got to read the Bible, you got to read the Bible. But there was never an emphasis on figure out the story, right? The Bible is full of stories. That's what it is. And every single story has a principle in it. It has characters in it. It has the peak. It has the climax. It has it has everything. The Bible, low-key, is the juiciest book ever created or ever released to the public, I should say. So the commonality between all these people is their acknowledgement, and they're attributing their success and where they are today in their connection with God, source. All right. And I found that, I don't want to say fascinating, but it was something definitely to note, because in my journey of feeling like I could do this by myself, right? And that's how we get away from God. We say we can do this by ourselves. We don't really need, because I have suffered enough. So there's a disconnect here, because God couldn't have been in that, and so out of trauma, we get away from God. Out of pride and feeling so grandiose, we start dabbling in other things and other places and not putting God first, right? And that doesn't mean that you completely forget about God, but it means you don't put God first. You don't consult God before you make a decision. I can think of so many times where I was like, oh, this sounds good. Or somebody convinced me to do something or persuaded me to do something. And I was like, boom. And I did not consult God first, right? And what does consulting God look like? It looks like talking, and it looks like asking, can you confirm that this is something that I need to do or not? Right? It's as simple as that. One thing that I do every single night, and I've found that this life-changing, is when you get into bed and you're about to go to sleep. When you're a child, people say, oh, say your prayers at night. And you say this routine, memorized statement or prayer. But nothing ever comes from the heart. Nothing ever comes from what's really going on and what you are seeking and what you need help with. At least I wasn't taught to pray like that when I was younger. And so it was out of extreme pain that started to emerge in my life. And once it did, baby, okay, everything changed. So I spend time with God right before I close my eyes to go to sleep. One, because I need spiritual protection in my dreams. So many stories in the Bible have talked about people who God will visit them in their dreams. Evil spirits will also visit you in your dreams. Please believe. So, and if you want to learn more about dreams, I would highly recommend Minister Ewing. I've been checked into Minister Ewing for years, but he has really got it to a science. Like, it's phenomenal. But I just spend time with God, and I talk to God from the heart, weeping, sobbing, borderline yelling. I mean, just release it all. You have to release it all. You can't carry it all. And that is the time where you connect. That is the time where you ask for what you want. And a recent thing that has really been coming up for me this week, actually, is being bold, right? Being bold in your language to God. That is a whole nother video. Because when I first saw it, I was like, hold on, y'all mad disrespectful out here. Like, what is this? And after listening to a certain amount of people, no. Because again, the stories in the Bible have shown that boldness is actually responded to, and oftentimes it is rewarded. So this common language of millionaires, of people who are living the experience that we wish to live. Why do we want to be millionaires? Well, from our perspective, we see being a millionaire as having free time, as not having to worry about paying bills, and a peace of mind, right? And once you get there, you will realize that's not always true. So from our vantage point of where we are, we're striving. When we get there, we're like, oh, hold on. Some of this stuff is true, but some of this stuff is not. And so what keeps you solid is that foundation in God, right? Because you can get where you want to get all day long. I mean, drug dealers are out here rich, filthy rich. How did they get there? For sure, God didn't send them on the block to sell whatever, right? So you have to keep God at the forefront. You have to consult. You have to treat God like God is like your financial advisor, your business coach, your mentor, like everything. A lot of coaches and a lot of professionals pay coaches to help them. Well, everybody has access to God. So I've been in a place where I couldn't afford nothing, right? But I didn't have to afford anything because I had a direct connection to God. I could DM God and God would respond. I could text God. I could chirp God. Y'all remember chirp? Like, we all have it. We all have it. And the only difference between you and a millionaire is that they know something that you don't know. And the first thing I want to say of something that they know that you don't know is that they consult God first. They put God first. So I wanted to come and share that because that was fascinating for me. I'm gonna say it's fascinating. Okay. Because nobody really highlights that and nobody really talks about that. So that is all. If you wish to reach out to me for coaching, for a 2-hour power call for the mompreneur who is just feeling stuck. Listen, I've been there. You don't know what to post. You don't know what to say. You're now confusing yourself about your customer. You're frustrated. You've put so much into your business. You put so much into the idea and the work, and it's not flowing. You feel that there's a blockage, reach out to me. I offer 2-hour power call. We flush out all of that. If you feel like you are just ready to unleash and get out of your own way, I offer one-on-one coaching as well. So all of that is in the description box below. A couple links will be there for you. But this is something that I think I will always remember and I will carry going forth in life for sure. And in my coaching, I also bring that to the forefront because it's mandatory. It's mandatory. We all have goals. But what is the commonality of everybody who has already reached those goals? Yeah. So I hope this blessed somebody. I hope this helped somebody. And I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.